Okay, hello Newcastle, hello Meadville, hello Cranberry. So, I know that it's really early in the morning, but I'm going to have you guys do something fun because I like to ask questions. I like to get you guys thinking. So, everybody go ahead and stand to your feet and find a partner. Find a partner. I'm going to count down from 10 to find your partner. Newcastle, yes, find your partner. Meadville, find that partner. Okay, does everybody have their partner? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, Meadville, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, really. Newcastle, I'm waiting for that thumbs up. I guarantee everyone's looking around like, I don't know. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Think of one person, everybody think of one person who's impacted you in your life. Maybe the biggest impact. Maybe this was, a conversation you had one-on-one with them. Maybe they really encouraged you. Think of that person. Now we're going to take maybe a minute or two, and I want you to tell the other person who it is and maybe why they were such a big impact to you. Go. Whenever you're done, you can go ahead and take a seat. If you're not done, that's okay. Newcastle, Meadville, if you guys are done, just stay with me. Just stay with me. How you guys doing? Glad to hear you're all doing great. All right, we can go ahead. We can sit back down. Okay. Oh, that's loud. So, whoever this person was that maybe made a huge impact in your life, chances are they probably ministered to you in a one-on-one setting. They encouraged you in a one-on-one setting, which is what we're going to talk about, is how do you minister to somebody in a one-on-one setting. And so, biblically, we've got to look at this. How did Jesus encourage people or minister to somebody in a one-on-one setting? What did he do? Did he even do that? Because we know that he went to the multitudes, but Jesus ministered to many, many people in a one-on-one setting. So some of these people are the woman at the well. He ministered to Peter in a one-on-one setting. Mary Magdalene, Zacchaeus, the man that was possessed by a demon, the woman caught in the act of adultery, he ministered to her, and the centurion. And so ministry in any capacity is all about people. Why? It's because God's heart is for people. And so many times he's going to give you this heart of compassion to minister to people. Maybe it's to a group of people. Maybe it's to one person in particular that you have a really great relationship with. And so we're going to look at a few verses on why this is so important. And we're going to talk about how to do it. And my girl Lexi is going to come up here with me. Not yet. But first, we're going to go to 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 15 through 18. And so it says this. You know that this is Paul. Yeah, and he's writing to Timothy. And he says, you know that everyone in the province of Asia has deserted me. So they've deserted him, including 2 people. I'm not going to try to pronounce their name. May the Lord show mercy to the household of Omniporus, because he often refreshed me, and he was not ashamed of my chains. On the contrary, when he was in Rome, He searched hard for me until he found me. May the Lord grant that he will find mercy from the Lord on that day. You know very well in how many ways he has helped me in Ephesus. And so what are some traits that we can look at from this man, Omniferous? So we see that he came into Paul's life when everyone else was leaving. Paul says that I'm completely deserted, but he says, I'm not going to leave this man behind like many other people are. And then he refreshed Paul. He encouraged Paul. He wasn't ashamed of Paul's chains or what he was carrying. Chains can look like different things. Whatever you're carrying, maybe your background, what you've gone through. Many people might think, oh, this person's weird, they're awkward. But that's not what Omniferous did to Paul. He looked, and despite all the things that he was going through, he wasn't ashamed to call him a friend. He ministered to Paul in many ways. These are some traits of Omniferous. So next, we're going to look at 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 5 through 7. And Paul, again, he's talking, and he says, when we came to Macedonia, we had no rest, but we were harassed at every turn, conflicts on the outside, fears within, but God, who comforts the downcast, he comforted us by the coming of Titus. And not only by this, but also by the comfort you had given him. He told us about your longing for me, your deep sorrow, your ardent concern for me, so that the joy was greater than ever. So again, we see that Paul is being encouraged by somebody. Now, Paul, he is probably the most he's a spiritual giant, okay? He's like the guy, right? He wrote so much of the New Testament. You would think, well, does Paul really need to be encouraged? No matter what season of life you're in, no matter what stage you're at in your faith, everybody always needs encouraged. So we're going to talk about real quick, how do you practically do this? We just talked about Scripture. Everybody needs encouraged, including Paul, including me, including you, including students that are coming in here today in Echo, right? So how do you practically minister to somebody in a one-on-one setting? Maybe they're upset, they're downcast, like Paul's talking about. So the first thing you're going to do, there's just 4 quick things. Newcastle, 4 quick things. Meadville, 4 quick things. First thing you're going to do is listen. You don't need to go into fix-it mode right away. Sometimes people just need to listen. Sometimes people just need to be heard, and they just want to be listened to. Second thing you're going to do, discover what their need is. Maybe why are they coming and talking to you? Identify what the problem is. You do this by asking questions. That's how you discover what the need is. So then you're going to focus on hope. You're going to encourage them, is another way to say it. Maybe this is a scripture. Maybe this is something that you believe on your heart for them. This can look different. You're going to build them up. And then the last thing you're going to do is take a next step. Help them to take a next step. So you've identified all the things, what the problem is. You've listened. You're going to help them identify the direction they need to go in. So where do you go from here? So we're going to role play. Lexi, come on up. So let's say, Lexi, she's a high school student, but let's just say you're back in middle school. Let's say she's back in middle school, right? So Lexi comes to me, and first thing I'm going to do, I see that Lexi's just so upset. She's sitting on the couch all by herself. I'm like, hey, do you want to come play cards with me in a group of girls? She's like, no, I don't want to. So I'm going to say, hey, I know you, Lexi. Like, what's been going on? This isn't like you. So I'm going to listen to what she has to say. And let's say she tells me this.
I never feel good enough.
Okay. So I'm now going to listen. Tell me more about why, you don't feel good enough. So maybe she's going to tell me, Danielle, I was at school and somebody said that to me in class. And that thought keeps repeating in my head. And all week, Lexi's just been so upset. So I'm going to listen to everything that she has to say. I'm maybe going to ask her more questions. How long have you been feeling that way? Where did it come from? So I'm moving to discovering the need. I'm going to ask more questions. Is that something that you really believe, Lexi? And she's going to say, yes, or she's going to say no. So I discovered the need. I'm going to focus on hope. So you can actually go sit down. because I don't think I'm going to have you repeat anything else. So I'm going to focus on hope. I'm going to say, well, do you believe what the Bible really, truly says about you? Do you know that it says that you're more than a conqueror, that you have everything that you need? I'm going to start to encourage her and build her up. So I'm going to focus on the hope that's set before her. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask her to take a step. I'm going to say, you know what, Lexi, I think you need to forgive that person for saying that to you. Maybe you need to have a conversation with them. And then I'm going to give her an action step. I want you to go look up all the scriptures that say that you are enough in Jesus. Put them on your mirror. So I'm going to give her a next step. Those next steps can look different, right? Does that make sense? So those are 4 steps in how to practically minister to somebody in a one-on-one setting, just like Jesus did. So we can do that today. We can do that with a student, maybe a student that's sitting off by himself. He doesn't want to talk. Maybe there's a reason behind that. So that's my nugget. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead, dismiss Newcastle, Meadville.